This is an epic recap of one of the biggest anime crossovers ever. One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Toriko special where our favorite heroes Luffy, Goku, and Toriko battle it out to see who's the strongest. By the end of this video, you'll find out who comes out on top in this legendary showdown, so let's get started. Luffy's group was still floating on the sea. Suddenly, Sanji announced that the entire group had run out of food, leaving Luffy in shock. Luffy then blamed Sanji for poorly managing the food, but it turned out the fault was Luffy's excessive eating. Therefore, the urgent task for the whole group was to find food. Fortunately, Robin spotted an island nearby, prompting Luffy's group to go ashore in search of food while the others stayed behind to guard the ship. Nami believed there would be no food on this island because there didn't seem to be anyone on this island. Suddenly, Luffy discovered some food. It turned out to be a meat tree, which made Luffy very happy. So, he quickly grabbed the meat and started eating. Chopper found cotton candy, and Sanji found grass made of boiled noodles, which surprised Nami because this island was full of food. Chopper found a medicinal grass that could cure stomach pain. Suddenly, someone grabbed him. It turned out to be Toro's group also searching for food. Thinking Chopper was a rare species, they wanted to try eating him, which frightened him. So, Luffy immediately attacked Toro, seeing his arm stretch out, surprising Katsu. Luffy continued to attack Toro, but he managed to block the attacks. At this point, Luffy said, "Release my friend." However, when Toro discovered that Chopper could speak, he was immediately shocked because he had never seen a creature like that before. Suddenly, a group of monsters appeared and surrounded them. Toriko explained they had entered the territory of the barbecue pig, a very fierce animal. However, Luffy found the barbecue pig herd to be delicious. Katsu mentioned that the barbecue pig's difficulty level to capture was 1. Surprising Nami, it turned out this level was set by the International Gourmet Organization. The barbecue pig herd began to attack the group, so Toro and Luffy immediately counterattacked them while Sanji protected Nami's group. Suddenly, he caught a whiff of something foul. It turned out the barbecue pig herd was getting angry. Toro said that if they got angry, their bodies would catch fire, so they had to deal with them immediately. Chopper recognized that Toriko was very strong. Katsu said because he is a gourmet hunter, they are people who always seek ingredients that no one knows about. Seeing Luffy in battle made Toriko curious. "Why does your body resemble rubber?" "Because I am a rubber man," Luffy replied. In the end, they successfully dealt with all the barbecue pigs. On Usopp's side, they were still very hungry, waiting for Luffy's group to bring back food. Meanwhile, Luffy and Toro's group were enjoying a delicious meal because the meat of the barbecue pig was very tasty. It made Toriko and Luffy unable to stop eating. At this time, Chopper had also become friends with Terry, Toro's pet. Nami didn't understand why this island had so much food. Komatsu said, "This island is called Hungerilla. It's a legendary island with all kinds of cooking ingredients." It turned out Toro's sense of smell was so keen that he could find his way here. At this time, Sanji had cooked a very delicious piece of meat for Nami. Unexpectedly, it was immediately taken by Luffy and Toriko, making Nami angry. When Komatsu tasted the sauce, he immediately felt it was very delicious. Unexpectedly, he had only just tasted it. Katsu had guessed Sanji's sauce recipe, making Sanji surprised because his taste buds were too sharp. He realized that Katsu was also a chef. When Sanji tasted Tsu's sauce, he found it to be delicious as well. At this time, Nami was preparing to bring the food back to the sunny ship. However, she discovered that Luffy and Toro had already eaten all the food. Toro realized that Luffy's group was looking for food. So, he informed them, "Here, there's another delicious dish, the Hungerilla bird." It turned out that Toro's group's goal in coming here was also to capture this bird. So, the whole group started looking for the Hungerilla bird, knowing that the taste of that bird was very good. It immediately made Luffy and Toro hungry again. At this time, the whole group had climbed to the mountaintop. Suddenly, Terry detected danger. It turned out they were surrounded by a group of giant bears. Toro said they are unicorn bears. They are level 2 difficulty to catch. And when Luffy was about to fight them, Toro immediately stopped him and advised him to run instead. It turned out the meat of the unicorn bears was tough and not tasty. Toro's rule was that if he didn't eat them, he wouldn't kill them. So the whole group tried to run quickly to escape from the bears. Suddenly, a bear blocked their path. Thus, Luffy immediately took it down. Unexpectedly, a bird appeared and blew away the bear group. Toriko realized that it was the Hungerilla bird. It immediately attacked Toro, but he managed to block it and immediately threw it away. Suddenly, it switched to attacking Nami's group. Fortunately, Terry arrived in time to rescue them. Sanji and Chopper immediately launched an attack, but they were both repelled by it. At this point, Luffy noticed that its feathers were as hard as iron armor. It attacked the whole group with incredible speed. Toro said that while its exterior was tough, the meat inside was very delicious. This made Luffy excited, so he immediately used a barrage of punches to attack it, but it was still not enough to defeat the Hungerilla bird. Now, it was Toro's turn. He released his gourmet cells. He transformed his arm into a knife and fork to attack the bird. Toro successfully defeated the Hungerilla bird. Finally, the whole group got to eat the bird's meat. Toriko was very happy because the meat was tender and delicious. Meanwhile, Usopp's group was very hungry. They were waiting for Luffy to bring food for them. By evening, Luffy and Toro were still organizing the feast. Just when Komatsu showed Nami the spices for his supple, they were suddenly attacked by a group of monsters. At this point, Toro and Luffy had eaten to their heart's content. Suddenly, Terry discovered that Nami and Katsu were missing. Toro realized that the kidnapper was a species of marsupial bear called koala. It turned out they were taking Nami and Katsu to their nest to prepare food. So, Toro and Luffy immediately chased after them. He also informed Luffy Coco's nest is a type of delicious fruit called a wano fruit. It gathers the flavors of hundreds of different fruits. At this moment, they had spotted the nest of these creatures, making Toro very excited. On Usopp's side, they were still waiting for food. Meanwhile, Luffy's group was still running towards the Coco's nest. Suddenly, hot water geysers erupted. Chopper realized that this was chocolate, making Luffy very excited. Unexpectedly, a large stream of water shot up, causing the entire group to be thrown into a river. Toriko realized that this was not water but whipped cream. At this point, they had reached the forest near the Coco's nest. Terry immediately sensed danger. Toro recognized that this lion was a cast Leo level 4. Its mane was made of sponge cake and was very delicious. So when Luffy attacked it, it used a shockwave to knock him back. It turned out that the mane of cast Leo was like a speaker. So Sanji quickly ran up to attract its attention, allowing Toro to attack cast Leo from the side. So, he immediately used the nail punch technique, creating 3 punches that sent Cast Leo flying. Suddenly, a larger group of lions appeared. It turned out that the Cast Leo they were dealing with was just a small one. When they were about to attack, fortunately, Sunny appeared to assist Toriko. Coco and Ren also came to help him. It turned out they were all friends of Toriko because they knew Toriko was on this island looking for the Hungerilla bird. So, they came here to help him. When they learned that Luffy's group wanted to rescue their friends, Sunny and Coco decided to obstruct the lion group, allowing Luffy's and Toro's group to go rescue Nami and Katsu. Unexpectedly, Toro's goal was just to pick a wano fruit. At this point, Toro found it strange because the Coco could pass through the lion group to capture Nami and Katsu, so he speculated that among them there was a very powerful one. On Nami and Katsu's side, at this moment they had been taken by the Coco to under the wano fruit tree, making Katsu excited, wanting to taste its flavor, while Nami was in a state of fear. Suddenly, they came across a giant koala, making Nami scream, and upon hearing Nami scream, Sanji quickly ran over. At this moment, they saw Nami and Katsu being captured by a giant koala. Toro immediately recognized that the level 5 koala was the leader, evolved from Koala, so he understood why the Koala group could pass through the lion pack. Therefore, the koala immediately ordered the Koala group to attack. Unexpectedly, Sanji missed hitting them because in combat, their speed had surpassed level 3. So Toro and Luffy decided to run up while Terry and Chopper helped to hold back the Koala group. Unexpectedly, Toro was immediately struck down by the koala. Luffy also moved forward and was also struck back by it. Toriko realized that the level of this koala had surpassed level 5. At this point, the koala continuously attacked both of them, striking Luffy away, but Toro managed to block its attack. When Luffy was about to attack it, it immediately used Nami and Katsu as shields so he couldn't attack it. Suddenly, it continuously spun around the wano fruit tree and attacked Toriko. Toriko realized it was using the elasticity of the wano fruit to increase its attack power. Unexpectedly, this excited Luffy and Toro even more. They wanted to eat the wano fruit even more. So, Luffy and Toro rushed up together. Luffy grabbed 2 branches of the wano fruit to create rebound force to help Toro unleash a very strong attack, and they successfully knocked the koala away. Finally, Nami and Katsu were also saved. Suddenly, the wano fruit tree shook. At this moment, Sunny's group also arrived. Toriko immediately told them to run quickly. It turned out that the volcano was erupting. But they realized that this volcano was very peculiar. Chopper recognized that this was caramel. At this point, Coco finally informed the entire group the most precious ingredient on this island is not the Hungerilla bird. It turned out that this entire island was like a giant natural pudding. This was the special feature of the island. On Usopp's side, they were also very surprised because the entire island had turned into pudding. At this point, Toriko and Luffy immediately tried the wano fruit. Unexpectedly, its taste was really delicious. It was like they were eating many types of fruits all at once. So, Luffy and Toro immediately competed to eat the entire mountain of pudding. At this moment, Nami realized that they had eaten the entire island clean. Finally, it was time for Luffy's group to leave. So, he bid farewell to Toro, and Toro promised that next time he would treat Luffy to a full-course meal. Meanwhile, the Sunny group and the Usopp group didn't know who these people were. So, Luffy and Toro continued their journey. Sometime later, Toro and Katsu were drifting on the sea fishing. It turned out they were waiting to catch a spring shark. Suddenly, Toro sensed it and said, "It's here." A water vortex immediately appeared. So, Toro immediately grabbed the fishing rod and helped Komatsu pull up the spring shark. Seeing it sparkling made both of them very excited. So, Toro immediately jumped and knocked it out with just one punch. Thinking they were about to eat, suddenly something moved inside the shark, immediately surprising both. Unexpectedly, Luffy emerged from inside the shark's stomach, shocking them, not understanding why Luffy was inside. Seeing Toriko and Katsu made Luffy very happy. At this point, the Sunny ship also caught up, so the entire Luffy group told Toriko about it. It turned out Chopper was suffering from a condition called deep sea fever, causing his skin to develop blue spots. To cure this condition, they needed the seafood fruit, so Luffy immediately asked Toriko for help in finding that fruit. Toriko realized that the seafood fruit was on an island called Two Chinese Island, and the seafood fruit was a legendary fruit. It contained a variety of seafood species inside the seafood fruit, so they immediately set off together for Two Chinese Island. At this point, the whole group had arrived. Usopp noticed that there were many Chinese-style buildings buildings on the island. So, Toriko led Luffy's group up the island to search for the seafood fruit, while the others stayed behind to guard the ship. Sanji had prepared a pot of shark fin soup in advance to wait for Chopper's return. On Chopper's side, the illness was getting worse by the moment, causing the blue streaks on his face to spread further. Suddenly, a bird attacked them. They noticed that the bird was skilled in martial arts, which surprised Luffy. Toro explained that they were Kung Fu Mina birds. They were a type of bird that mimicked human actions. They immediately attacked them, so Luffy inflated his body to block them. At this point, Luffy told Zoro not to kill them because not eating them was Toro's rule for not killing them, so Zoro immediately used his bare hands to fight them. Robin also helped everyone capture them. Luffy used Gear 3 to defeat the birds. Surprisingly, as soon as they defeated them, they immediately accepted Luffy as their master. Nami felt they were like the Kung Fu Sea cow herd in Alabaster, so they led Luffy's group to their home. Unexpectedly, the birds here were imitating humans in building houses, and Katsu discovered that they also knew how to hunt for seafood. However, they didn't know where the seafood fruit was. On Robin's side, she was exploring the archaeological site. Suddenly, she discovered a strange map. At this time, Chopper's illness was getting worse, causing his skin to turn blue. Toro realized they were running out of time. While Luffy and the others were having lunch, Toriko said, "We need to find the seafood fruit soon because if Chopper's body completely turns blue, then he will die." So, they were forced to find the seafood fruit today. Luffy was determined to find the seafood fruit for Chopper. At this point, Robin had returned and told them the seafood fruit could very well be at the top of the mountain. So, the whole group followed the river and reached a fortress. It turned out this fortress was located at the top of the island. Luffy realized there was something very powerful inside. Suddenly, a muscular panda bear appeared. Toro recognized it was X-Panda, so Zoro decided to stay back to block the panda bear, allowing Luffy's group to continue moving inside. At this point, Luffy's group had entered the fortress. Finally, they saw the seafood fruit. When Luffy was about to pick the seafood fruit, suddenly Robin was pulled away by something. It immediately attacked Luffy and Toro and dragged Robin into the sea, causing her to faint. Toriko realized that this was a tree monster called Monger Bay, their creature guarding the seafood fruit, so Luffy immediately attacked them. Toro also used his knife technique to attack. Unexpectedly, the Monger Bay immediately regenerated. Toro realized that due to nutrients from the sea, it had helped the Monger Bay evolve, so it used seawater to attack Luffy, exhausting him and immediately swallowing Luffy. Toro also got knocked down by it. Chopper realized everyone got hurt because of him, making him blame himself, but Toro said, "We will definitely help you get the seafood fruit, and we will continue to eat together," so Toriko immediately rescued Luffy. Robin also woke up. Thus, Luffy saved her. At this point, both decided to tackle this monger together. So, Luffy cooperated with Toro, creating elasticity to allow him to strike a cutting blow to the manger's root. In the end, they successfully dealt with the monster and it obtained the seafood fruit. So, Chopper immediately ate the seafood fruit. Expectedly, it tasted delicious and helped cure Chopper's illness. On Zoro's side, he also took care of the panda bear. That night, everyone ate the seafood fruit together. Thus, on Sanji's side, he also noticed that Chopper had recovered, so they decided to eat shark soup together. At this time, Luffy and Toro were already very full. Suddenly, Katsu noticed that Chopper's body had turned red, so he immediately fainted. It turned out that Chopper had not fully recovered from the illness. Suddenly, the Sunny ship flew up in the middle of the island. It turned out that Frankie had brought Toro's friends here. Toriko immediately realized that they were Sunny, Coco, and Ren. Sunny was very excited at this moment because his name was similar to the name of Luffy's ship. Suddenly, Sunny realized Chopper's illness was actually deep-sea fever. Initially, the patient would feel cold and the skin turns blue, but in the final stage, they would feel hot and the skin turns red. If Chopper continued like this by morning when the sun rises, he would die. So besides having an eat the seafood fruit, he needed to eat 3 more symbolic ingredients representing the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But the most difficult ingredient to find was spring mangoes. Toriko realized its taste was like a pudding. Nami immediately wondered, how can they immediately find the ingredients for the 4 seasons? So, Coco told everyone on this island, there is another secret. It turned out this island was under a seal, so Coco told Toriko to break the island seal. As soon as he punched the seal stone, then a gigantic mushroom-shaped tower suddenly appeared, making everyone so surprised. Coco said that inside the tower was divided into 4 rooms corresponding to the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, making Brook astonished, not understanding why Toro's group was so knowledgeable about cuisine like that. It turned out that they were known as the 4 heavenly kings in the gastronomy world, and the other person named Zebra was in prison, so Luffy immediately smashed the wall of the tower for everyone to move inside. At this time, the group entered the first floor named Summer, making Luffy feel very hot. Suddenly, a tiger appeared. Toriko realized that it was Banana Tiger, its body was made from chili sauce, and that was the first ingredient. So, Coco used poison to attack the tiger. However, it dodged and attacked them back. Everyone understood that they needed to split up. So, Brook's group and Coco decided to stay to catch the tiger, while Luffy's group continued to advance to the autumn floor. So, Sanji and Sunny decided to stay on this floor, but they too kept quarreling. It turned out the ingredient on this floor was the E-horned monsters, while Sunny just thought it'd be so beautiful. He did not expect it to be an E-horned boar, immediately making Sunny so shocked because it was so ugly. At this time, Luffy and Toriko arrived at the floor winter, making Luffy feel freezing cold in this place. Suddenly, Toro saw Ween Stream being guarded by an orangutan. Toriko recognized that Wayne Stream was the third ingredient. Suddenly, the orangutan directly attacked them. Unexpectedly, its speed was very rapid. Toriko realized the orangutan was called Rutan level 32. On Chopper's side, his illness was getting worse. Nami realized there wasn't much time left. At this moment, CCU's group was attempting to capture this tiger while Usopp was being chased by the tiger. Luckily, he was able to climb the tree. Unexpectedly, the tiger melted and turned into the chili sauce. So, then they had the first ingredient. On Frankie's side, they were attacking the pig, but it dodged while Sunny was so annoyed because this pig was not as pretty as he had imagined. So, Sunny immediately used her hair to tie the pig up, making it not able to move. Thanks to that, they got the second ingredient. On Toro and Luffy's side, they were fighting against the orangutan. Unexpectedly, after drinking some wine, it got stronger and more powerful. Suddenly, Toro recognized that the leaf the orangutan was holding was the mango leaf. So, the final ingredient, Mango Karen, was definitely nearby. The orangutan immediately attacked Toro and Luffy. When Katsu was in danger, Zebra was in prison and he used sound to rescue him, causing the orangutan to faint. Luffy did not know who this guy was. Toro explained that was the sound of the fourth heavenly king Zebra. Thanks to that, the tower had a hole in it, making the room become warmer. Unexpectedly, this caused the orangutan to be furious. At this moment, they saw a Mango Ken tree. So, Luffy decided to use Gear 3 to finish the orangutan, and Toro used Nail Punch. Thus, they knocked the orangutan out of the tower and defeated it. However, they discovered that Mango Karen had not yet bloomed, causing Luffy so worried. If they did not save Chopper in time, he would die. Toriko realized Mango Karen was lacking sunlight. While everybody was so worried about Chopper, unexpectedly, a school of spring sharks appeared and created the light for Mango Karen to grow, and Mango Karen bloomed, making everyone delighted. Finally, they had collected all the ingredients already. Thus, Komatsu directly cooked a soup for Chopper. Unexpectedly, it was so delicious and immediately cured Chopper's illness, making everyone so cheerful. Finally, time for Luffy's group to leave. So, they said goodbye to Toro's group. Sometime later, the World Gourmet Society was organizing a competition. It attracted pirates, fighters, heirs, and gourmet hunters from all over the world to come here because the main prize was a rare piece of carrot meat. As soon as the race began, all the people rushed forward immediately. Unexpectedly, a sand pit appeared, pulling everyone down. It turned out that was a gigantic level 40 worm. Thought that no one could surpass it. Surprisingly, there was a group of people who managed to surpass all odds. It turned out that was the group of the four heavenly kings, Toriko with Luffy's straw hat pirate crew. This reunion made everyone so joyful. Luffy and Toriko were determined to get that legendary carrot meat. Surprisingly, another contender emerged, and that person was none other than Goku. I will definitely win and take this piece of meat. The race had 3 paths to finish. Whoever reached the center of the island would be the winner and claim the legendary piece of carrot meat. At this moment, the event was not only hosted by MC and Manson alongside Mr. Satan, the world's strongest man, and he was the representative for this competition, making all the audience cheer for Satan. At this time, Krillin wondered why that piece of beef was so rare. So, Coco immediately explained that was a premium beef containing all the flavors of various meats inside, while Nami wanted to get that piece of meat to sell it, making Krillin understand why his wife was craving for participating. At this moment, they reached the fork on the road. If they went straight, it would be a mountain. On the right was a dangerous forest, and on the left was a desert. So Goku, Toro, and Luffy directly chose to climb the mountain, while Gohan, Katsu, and Sanji ran to the forest. Suddenly, they were blocked by a level 45 dog-headed monkey. Setsuno intervened when Gohan was about to fight, saying that they could pass when they fed it. Sanji fed the monkey, making it full, and they continued moving forward. Nami's group went to the desert. Suddenly, they saw Master Roshi and Brook unconscious. However, they both turned out to be perverts. Meanwhile, Frankie was talking to Android 18 because he knew that she was also a robot. Goten and Trunks felt so bored, so they decided to fuse. Seeing both of them merging immediately made Sunny and Chopper surprised, making Chopper excited and asked Sunny to fuse with him. Meanwhile, Luffy, Toro, and Goku were climbing the mountain, so they reached the summit. Goku was very surprised when both of them caught up to him. Suddenly, King Kai informed Goku that the universe was in danger, so he immediately teleported away while Zoro got lost behind the island. Suddenly, he sensed a powerful presence behind him. It turned out that was the fourth heavenly king, Zebra. Unexpectedly, Vegeta also appeared, seeing that these two seemed so powerful, so they immediately decided to battle each other. Meanwhile, Luffy and Toro were about to reach the finish line. Fortunately, Goku came back in time to join the race. Thus, these three together ran towards the finish line so fast and finished simultaneously. Since they needed to find only one winner, the organizers decided to have them fight each other. Suddenly, an arena appeared by chance. Satan also fell onto the arena, so he would battle against Luffy, Toro, and Goku. At this moment, 3 of them were so excited since they realized that their opponent was so strong. As soon as the match began, Goku attacked Luffy, but Luffy's head stretched out and immediately counterattacked Goku. Toro also used 10 nail punches to attack Goku, causing Goku to be pushed back 10 times. Goku knew that they were so formidable. Luffy used Gear 2 to attack Toro, so he countered with the knife technique and pushed Luffy back. Goku got so excited and attacked Toro. At this moment, three of them were battling each other so fiercely while Satan was so frightened. So, these three decided to fight seriously. Toro released his gourmet cells, Luffy used Gear 3, and Goku transformed into Super Saiyan. So, they all together unleashed a decisive blow. Coincidentally, Satan was in the middle, causing a shock throughout the island. Unexpectedly, the result was that Toriko, Luffy, and Goku were all eliminated. Only Satan remained on the arena, so he became the winner, making all three feel confused. Finally, Satan decided to share the carrot meat with everyone. Goku realized that Luffy and Toriko were both very strong, but they didn't know that there was a very dangerous creature at the bottom of the sea. At this time, everyone was organizing a feast together, seeing the carrot meat dish prepared so deliciously, making all three excited. So, they immediately learned from Toriko the ritual of giving thanks before eating. While Toriko, Luffy, and Goku were eating enthusiastically, people had started getting acquainted with each other, making everyone very happy because they got to eat together. While Luffy and Goku focused only on eating meat, suddenly Robin, Coco, and Piccolo wondered why did Manson organize this competition? Because they realized the Igo organization wanted to gather powerful individuals here. So, he decided to tell them Igo's goal was to capture Ami, a legendary creature that was a glutton under the ocean. Suddenly, Akami appeared, surprising everyone. Toro immediately recognized it as Akami, a legendary creature with the nickname Deep Sea Glutton. But Usopp, Sop, and Satan felt that it seemed foolish and harmless. However, it immediately captured them along with Gohan. So Akami immediately absorbed the power of all three and evolved. Luffy, Toro, and Goku immediately attacked, but it escaped. At this point, Gohan had been poisoned. Setsuno said they needed to capture Akami within 30 minutes, and eating its meat was the only way to cure the poison. So, the whole group decided to capture Akami together. While Sunny and Sanji were looking for Akami, they started arguing. Suddenly, Akami appeared and attacked them, so Sanji immediately jumped to attack it. At this point, Piccolo arrived to help, so all three teamed up and continuously attacked Akami. They thought they had defeated it. Unexpectedly, it immediately captured Sunny, Sanji, and Piccolo. It absorbed all their strength, so Amy continued to evolve while Brook and Koku's group was looking for Akami. They were ambushed by Akami. So, Coco immediately went to rescue Brook. Unexpectedly, both of them were also captured and absorbed. Goten and Trunks immediately fused together and transformed into Super Saiyan. Goten and Trunks immediately fused together and transformed into Super Saiyan. Suddenly, Frankie appeared because he was inside a robot. Akami couldn't absorb Frankie. When Frankie was about to finish it off, he jumped out. Immediately, he was absorbed by Akami. At this point, Goten's transformed into 10 ghosts and attacked Akami. Unexpectedly, it had no effect, and it immediately absorbed Goten's. Until Toro found Akami, it had grown significantly. Immediately, it attacked him. At this point, Luffy appeared to help Toro, and Goku had arrived, surprising him because this monster was already enormous. Toro said that even though it's grown 100 times stronger, its meat was also 100 times more delicious. So, all three decided to defeat it and eat its meat. Toriko and Luffy immediately attacked, destroying its tentacles while Goku unleashed a series of punches. When it counterattacked Goku, he used the Kamehameha to push Akami towards Toro. He then used the 36 nail punch, sending it flying towards Luffy, so Luffy also used Gear 3 to defeat Akami. All three thought they had won, but unexpectedly, Akami immediately appeared behind them. It immediately knocked all three away. At this point, it continued to evolve, not only in speed but also in strength. All three were continuously being attacked by it. While Goku was attacking Akami, Toro informed Luffy it's absorbing their attacks. If they want to defeat Akami, they need to unleash an extremely powerful attack. Goku asked both of them to hold Akami's legs to use the Jadonama technique, but this technique takes time to absorb energy, so Luffy and Toro helped Goku hold Akami's legs. Unexpectedly, Akami absorbed the power of Jadama. Therefore, everyone on the island joined together, raising their hands to the sky, transmitting energy to Goku. He immediately threw Jadama at Akami. Surprisingly, it could still block it, so Luffy and Toro immediately rushed in, both using their strongest techniques combined with Goku. They attacked Akami. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan 3 and used Kamehameha. They succeeded in defeating Akami, even though they were exhausted. Finally, all three were delighted because they finally got to eat that night. Everyone grilled Akami for a feast, making them all very happy because they got to continue eating together. Meanwhile, Zoro, Zebra, and Vegeta were still fighting on the backside of the island. If you've made it to the end of the video, you must have loved this epic recap. You definitely won't want to miss the latest arc of One Piece, Egghead Island, where the crew faces off against the 5 elders and uncovers shocking truths about the world. Trust me, it's a must-watch. And if you want to see Luffy become the king of the pirates, make sure to subscribe.